Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. This is episode 220, and it is part 7 of the first annual Broscars. I am one of your hosts tonight, the Mayor Jeff Hornacek, and if you don't know, this is the movie award show for bros, unlike the Oscars, which can go fuck itself.
And I'm one of your co-hosts tonight, the mad scientist, Brian Banner. I'm happy to announce that my 2-year suspension from drinking during the Broscars has officially come to an end. And we're all working with liquor tonight, so things might get a little weird.
And good evening. I'm your last host of the night, the American hero, Nate Thurman. I would like to point out that Brian's suspension from drinking was not something the fellow bros imposed, but was actually passed down by the Supreme Court of the United States.
Right, and luckily nobody's ever heard of them, so I think we're good.
Okay, Brian. Well, while we sort all this out, let's go to the real star of the show, the enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, who will be doing his usual work, and as I call it, God's work, during the Broscars, of covering the red carpet and all the backstage festivities. Matt, everyone is arriving. What's the early scuttlebutt down there?
So, of course, as you know, I love being fashionably late. So I'm just walking in right now. Fuck. Of course, there's Girl Scouts, like, just right up to the fucking front of the gate. There's no way else in. Well, okay, the other way in is you got to go through a theater where Madam Web is playing. So everyone is just going to buy the fucking Girl Scout thing. This is actually very business savvy of them. So let me buy a couple boxes of Do-si-dos because I've heard bad things about that movie, and then I'll report back after that. I'll be back soon. Yes, I'm next. Yeah, I'll give you some Do-si-dos. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. If you could pick me up some Thin Mints also, that'd be great. Well, guys, it's time for our first Broscar of the night. We begin the award show today with the award for Best Documentary, or the Holy Shit That Really Happened award.
Horns, I've always wanted to submit a documentary to like Sundance or something about the night in college where we went to that hippie party, punched a dude, evaded the police, and almost stole a hamster. It was really close. You think that would resonate with today's youth?
The best part about that whole night, and probably the only thing that wasn't a felony, was I remember it was snowy out, and I hid a beer in the snow in someone's backyard. Came back about 4 hours later. Not only was it still there, but it was ice cold.
Genius.
Yeah, definitely had the silver bullet on that one. All right, so let's send it down to our presenter of the Holy Shit That Really Happened award, Liam Neeson.
Murder, deception, Johnny Football. Those three things are both the theme of Matt Geiger's birthday party this year, and this year's Holy Shit That Really Happened award for the best documentary, movie, or series that came out. Let me introduce you to the real star of the show tonight, the sexy robot voice with an attitude, to reveal who will take home the award.
And the nominees are Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal, The Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker, a story about how Horns tried to win back his ex-wife, The American Gladiators documentary, Untold, Johnny Football. That's a weird title, because the story was obviously told. And The Ashley Madison Affair. And the winner is Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal.
Well, everyone loves a good home-cooked murder. The Murdaugh Murders taking it home. There was actually a follow-up to this, but as always, after we know how the person fucking died, no one gave a shit. Did either of you guys check this out? And then how do you feel about how the fans voted on our documentary award this year?
Yeah, I saw this one. It was pretty intriguing. The kind of the long history of their family, and I think it was South Carolina. But just like them being judge after judge after judge, and just like basically having a stronghold over that community, and then getting away with whatever the fuck they wanted. And the family was just super fucked up and weird. And the dad had like two names. They would call him Alec or Alex. He may have had a third one thrown in there. I don't know. But it was. I'm glad this one won because it was a pretty good documentary that came out this year.
I was really offended because those lawyers have had like just such a high reputation and everyone loves us, and he really just went and made us look bad. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, this fucked up lawyers. That lawyers' reputations back decades.
This year's nominees, we had a lot of events that like we all vividly remember and lived through, which is kind of a new thing, right? Like half of these on this I remember watching in the news. So pretty top of mind as well, at least for our generation.
Well, I know Geiger can't wait for the Snooze Fest. That'll be the Colin Klein documentary next year, because the past 2 years from that Heisman ceremony, we had the Manti Te'o doc, and now we got Johnny Football. And Colin Klein seems like the most boring motherfucker in the history of Earth. So I can't wait for his documentary about how he loves his parents and doesn't abuse drugs and alcohol that's going to come out next year.
All right, let's take a nap too.
Let's toss it backstage to Geiger before we come back up for our next award. Matt, how are things holding up? Has everybody made their way into the award show yet? Have you been allowed entry?
A lot of people are back here. Of course, I'm allowed entry. I am the fucking entry. Before you get in here, I guess we had a bunch of DVDs left over, so we're just giving those away. So anybody what's some favorite DVDs? They got everything back here.
Rush Hour? They have that?
Rush Hour. Okay, yeah, I got that for Jeff. Banner.
Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Right. Yeah, I have that one. Wait, hold on one second. What's this thing at the top? This is director's cut. Okay. What? All right. All these are the Tay-Tay edition. So I guess on Silver Surfer, before Silver Surfer comes up, you see Taylor Swift. It cuts to her, and she's for some reason so fucking excited that Silver Surfer would show up in a movie that is fucking titled Silver Surfer. And then Jeff, whenever Chris Tucker says, "You never touch a black man's radio," Taylor Swift is like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" Like every fucking award she gets when she's surprised she's getting an award, even though she's sold more albums than fucking Elvis. So I'll get these anyway, but it's the Taylor Swift edition where it just cuts to her every 5 minutes. Back to you guys.
They say physical media is dead.
Thanks, Matt. It's time for our second award of the night. Drink every time something blows up. Given to the best action movie of the year.
Banner, speaking of blowing shit up, how was the company toilet after you introduced Mexican cuisine to that colleague you had in from Southeast Asia last week?
Well, let's just say I wouldn't go in there for a while. All right, let's go ahead and throw it down to our two presenters, Bane and his good friend, Christopher Walken.
No lord that has any mention of explosives could be delivered without my consent and approval. To be here at the Broscars once again, pumped full of venom, and Red Bull and vodkas presenting this award is my destiny.
I can verify that the Bane has tied off a few drinks at the bar. Guy knows how to cut loose. I saw him on the dance floor. Let's send it over to the sexiest AI in the business for the nominees for the Drink Every Time Something Blows Up award for the best action movie of the year.
And the nominees are Plane 65, John Wick Chapter 4. Holy shit, they made another one of those? Fast 10. Holy shit, they made another one of those? Extraction 2. Holy shit, they made another one of those? And the winner is John Wick Chapter 4.
Well, the fans have spoken. We continue to love these John Wick movies. This one, I believe, the longest of the bunch, and I don't know if any of you other bros have seen it, but there is an utterly ridiculous scene where John Wick comically rolls down a flight of stairs for seemingly like 5 minutes, which at that point I think I said, this is taking home Broscar Gold. What do you guys think of how this category played out this year? Banner,
I think we almost got it right. I think Extraction 2 is better.
I agree.
Personally. But both movies directed by former stuntmen. Great choreography, great fight scenes. So not bad that John Wick Chapter 4 won, but Extraction 2 is better. And 65 is the worst movie I've ever seen in the face of my life.
Whoa. Okay, it wasn't great, but that's a bold statement.
65 was terrible. It was the worst one on this list.
Nathan, it's a compliment if you don't agree with Banner's movie preferences, honestly.
That actually is true.
So you should be concerned if you agreed.
We're like, whew, okay, I'm still rooted in reality.
Well, I don't even say like 65 was like a great film, but it wasn't the worst of all time. But I do have to agree with you actually on Extraction 2, because that's the one that I think should have won in this category this year, but the fans have spoken. So it is what it is.
All right, let's toss it down to Matt Geiger. Matt, everybody's probably getting a little bit of a buzz going on now down there. What's the craziness level like? Are you able to keep things under control?
Free beers and, of course, trade show type setup. Similar to every year we do this for the first time at the Broscars. First 10 up here. This looks kind of cool. Very patriotic. They have a thing. Let me read it, what each 10 is. This is the 10th. Try that in a small town. Apparently, I can lynch, rape, steal, vote Democrat, or travel while playing basketball. Well, that last one's just extremely. So I could do any of these. And this nice man over here with the "Come and Take It" shirt just has a gun and just is going to let me do any of them. So I'm going to try to do maybe 2 or 3 of these while I throw it to you guys for the next break.
All right, thanks, Matt. It's time for our third award of the night. The I watched half of it with my eyes closed award, which goes to the best horror thriller movie of the past year.
Okay, Banner, are you saying horror or horror? Because I'm down for one of them, but the other one not so much.
Have you considered doing both at the same time?
I'll get back to you on that one.
All right. While you think about it, let's go ahead and send it down to our next presenter, Sir Michael Caine, a regular here at the Broscars. We love you, Michael. Let's send it down to him on the stage to introduce the nominees.
Fear, anger, pain, all feelings you get when you get to be my age and you can no longer control your bowels. These same feelings are elicited by a great horror or thriller movie. What film from the past year will stake claim to this coveted Broscar? Mr. Robot will tell us.
And the nominees are The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Spoilers much? Totally Killer. Sharper. I hardly know her. Scream 6. Ah! Saw X. And the winner is Saw X.
So before we get into the bros take, Cycling and I loved Saw X, but this wasn't just us because this vote for the Broscar on our YouTube channel actually had the most votes of any category. It had 92 total votes, and Saw X only beat Last Voyage of the Demeter by 2 votes to edge it out. So the horror heads out there really spoke, and this was an incredibly close one. Banner and Nate, I know Cycling and I are the main horror hounds on the show, but what do you guys think of how this played out? Did you see any of these movies, or were we just a little too scared to make our way into the theaters to watch them?
Negative. The last horror I saw was like 2007, so did not get to the theater for any of these, unfortunately.
I haven't seen 2007. What's that about?
Okay. Good one.
Yeah, I saw 3 of these. I think Saw X is probably the best, although we've seen Saw do this 9 times before. I thought Scream was really good too. That kind of had a new little twist on itself. But yeah, that's about it.
Scream, I'm glad it still got some love in this. It came out so early in the year, and I know Geiger loves when a good slasher horror movie comes out in January. Speaking of Geiger and fear, Geiger, how's things looking backstage? We're about at the halfway point in the award show. How are you holding up?
Of course, we know every asshole has a podcast nowadays. Am I right? Well, there's some stationed up back here. I know Michael Caine just got done presenting. Now he's at his booth. His podcast is where he talks about bandit stories and just drinks Shirley Blancas. Kermit and Miss Piggy have a relationship podcast. Jigsaw is over here with a political podcast about stopping the jab. That seems kind of actually backwards for him. And there's 2 booths that are not taken. One is Jeff Hornacek, how to start a podcast with your friends, then cut all of them out, take all their money. And then to the right of that is Ronnie Cycles, is how to sue a person that starts a podcast with their friends and cuts them out and tries to take all their money. Back to you guys.
Those must be like actual just the former basketball players and not us.
Yeah, that's clearly not us, obviously. Let's get to our next award. We're about halfway through the festivities. Hey, Nate, how are we feeling? Can I refill your colonoscopy bag?
Colonoscopy.
Sorry, colostomy.
Oh, this is staying in.
Okay, we'll just edit there. Okay. Brian, that's a Capri Sun.
You shit in the Capri Sun?
Not this one. I only do that for the grape. This is cherry, so no shit in this one.
Grape's my favorite. Let's move on to a fan favorite award, the best blockbuster movie of the year, also known as this award. Let's head down to our presenters, Matthew McConaughey and C-3PO.
Brian, for our viewers at home, you cut out. Can you tell them what this award is again before you send it down to the people?
Yeah, this better not suck since I waited in line for it. Award.
And who's presenting?
The great Matthew McConaughey and the shiny C-3PO.
All right. What a time to be living. Broscars once again, what a rager. An absolute fiesta, I tell you myself. Been playing the bongos backstage for the people. They love it. Haven't showered since the new year, going on about 3 months now. People also love a good blockbuster, like Sahara. I was in that one. And I love one myself.
Oh my. Matthew, I wish you'd put a shirt on for these festivities. I witnessed some horrible behavior from you prior to this. Let me say I'm quite relieved now to turn it over to my fellow robot friend to introduce the nominees for the best blockbuster movie of the year, or the This Better Not Suck, since I waited in line for it award.
And the nominees are Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Seems like all of these missions are actually quite possible. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Transformers Rise of Beasts, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And the winner is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
All right, guys, I got to say, not to poo-poo this award, but for blockbuster movies, I feel like this might be the weakest this category has ever been in the history of the Broscars. I think of these movies, I would have voted and did vote for Super Mario Brothers, but for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it's a fine movie, but typically this award is like a mind-blowing film, and it's going to take home the gold, but I think it's a weaker year, personally. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's throw an asterisk on this bitch.
Because this is the weakest year for blockbuster movies, I think. And I agree. I think that Super Mario Brothers on this list was the best. It just didn't have the hype behind it going in. You know, it didn't feel like that big blockbuster going into it, like some of these other ones.
Nate, what do you think?
I'm fine with Guardians winning this one. I really liked when this came out. Saw this one in theaters. I'm not a huge theater guy, but I did go to see this one in there. But I mean, this one, it kind of had a little bit different feel to it, but obviously tugged on the heartstrings quite a bit, which you don't obviously get in these all the time. But I really think this one held up, and so I'm pretty sure this is the one I voted for too.
Glad the fans got it right. Speaking of getting things right, Geiger, what's the situation backstage?
Well, I stepped outside for a cig. They don't let you smoke indoors in California. You know, they're health nuts and stuff. And I just want to kind of shine a light on the homeless in California. There's a lot, okay? And as I walk around, I'll just show you some. I mean, I see Black Adam walking. I mean, he's fucking poor as shit right now. Everyone from the Snyderverse is out here just begging for food, just asking for anything. Snow White, little premature. That movie's not even fucking theaters yet, but she's out here. And then in the helpline to try to get a job, there's the T-Rex from Jurassic World. Just a matter of time. Let's be honest. That's the tiredest fucking franchise I've ever seen. And then everyone from Marvel and everyone from Fast 10. I think we just need a whole. I mean, the whole system, guys. The whole system has failed us. They just keep banging this dead fucking drum. We need something new and fresh. We're just doing the same things. But all these people out here just really need a job. They look like they've eaten because they're all just ripped on steroids, but they don't look happy. I'll say that. Back to you.
Well, I'm glad we're all having a good time tonight.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a perfect segue for our next award, which goes to the best comedy movie of the year, also known as Are You Fucking Joking? Award.
Yeah, can we get a pants check banner? Just over halfway through, so I'm gonna assume you're probably got like 7 gin and waters in you by now. Geiger already told me that Sydney Sweeney has filed a harassment complaint backstage. So, are your pants still on?
How much of your legs need to be covered for it to be considered pants?
We can't see any scrot, so that needs to be covered.
Yeah, the knee is a non-issue here. It's
Yeah.
the dick and balls.
I do not have pants on.
Okay, thanks.
Well, based on that definition.
All right, let's go ahead and send it down to a first-time presenter, rookie, coming out of the gate, the great Tim Curry.
When the bros rang my telly to present this year, I said, "You must be mistaken. Such an honor to be here. Why, last year I was at home for the event. I know, because I was there. Comedy is something near and dear to my heart, and so it is with great pride that I turn it over to the bag cereal version of Alexa to present the nominee for the Are You Fucking Joking Award."
And the nominees are Renfield, Cocaine Bear, rest in peace, my friend. I hope your snorting lines up with Harambe in heaven. No Hard Feelings. Please Don't Destroy, The Treasure of Foggy Bottom. Is this even a real movie? And Barbie. And the winner is, how the hell did this win? Please Don't Destroy, The Treasure of Foggy Mountain.
All right, so the Please Don't Destroy The Legend of Foggy Mountain destroyed in our YouTube poll. This one had, I believe, over 70 votes, and it had 45%, almost half of them, to only Barbie's 12%, which kind of surprised me. Maybe we miscategorized Barbie, but this to me is the biggest shock of the night. I thought this movie was funny, but in a year where I feel like there were some decent comedies here. Like, I laughed a lot at Renfield. Cocaine Bear, just the premise alone is hilarious. I know Nate and I saw that one in theaters. But to me, this is a huge upset, especially considering the margin of victory. Nate, we'll go to you first. What do you think about how this one played out?
Yeah, I am really surprised by this one because No Hard Feelings had a bunch of hype around it, kind of being the comedy that comes back and brings like rated R comedies back into the realm. Yeah, Cocaine Bear was great. We've reviewed it on here, I think, already, and there was a little too much plot and not enough Cocaine Bear, but there were definitely a lot of laugh out loud moments. And then Barbie surprised me when I went and saw that. It was funny. Obviously had a little bit more of a sentimental touch to it at certain points, but I think Gosling stole it, like a lot of people have said, as far as the screen time. But yeah, this one played out weird with Please Don't Destroy taking the W.
Banner, what do you think?
You know how you can tell the difference between the Broscars and the Oscars? This category right here, because if this was the Oscars, Barbie would have stolen the show, and
Meryl Streep hasn't stood up and made a fucking speech yet.
Yeah, well, naturally, that comes later though. She's waiting until the third act for that.
Got it.
You know.
All right. Speaking of Meryl Streep being annoying, Matt, is she backstage? I know we have her on the blacklist, but she did try and wear that fake mustache last year to get in.
I mean, Meryl kind of seems like the safe ground for everyone. I don't like her, of course, because I'm the villain. And I'm glad that our fans didn't vote for Barbie. It's Enchanted with a bigger budget. Changed my fucking mind. I've already seen the movie. And Enchanted was better, I thought. But speaking of women, since we like to prop up and hold women on a pedestal on the Broforce Squad podcast, we are giving away girl superhero kits backstage to all the young girls. Comes complete with a cape, a weapon, a smug Brie Larson attitude that they're somehow better and more important than all the superhero men that everyone fucking knows about, a 10-page essay on how we shouldn't lower the rim, and also an equal pay gap versus men in sports. Anyone caring, though, is sold separately. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Next year's the Candace Parker WNBA player should be paid equal kit.
Thanks, Matt. All right, 3 more awards left tonight. And this is our lone television award for Best Series, called the I Watched the Whole Show in One Day, I Need Your Help award.
Yeah, I didn't see all of these this year, but I recently did binge rewatch Breaking Bad. I tried to get Horns to put it on the list, but apparently since it came out like 10 years ago, he said it's a no-go. But I'm gonna watch it again next year, I think, and commission for it to be on the list again. So we'll see how it goes.
The first year of the Broscars, when Geiger and I binged the Netflix Punisher series in a week, this was also known as the eBay also suggested purchasing a liter of whiskey, a shotgun, and a stool award.
Oh,
All right. Well, the only person I know that can handle those three things. Let's send it down to our next presenters, duo, the master of Yoda. I fucked all of this up.
Yeah,
let's just send it.
you
Let's just send it to
The
Yoda and Jason Statham.
On the stage.
Or have a problem with binging, whether it's a pound and a half of cocaine or a great show that I discover. When I find something I like, I just can't get enough.
Relate I can. Real Housewives of Dagobah. In 3 days I watched. 14 seasons the show is. Left me. My third wife did. Now, turn it over to the presenter. We will for the award for Best Television Series of this year.
And the nominees are The Last of Us, Ted Lasso Season 3, Shrinking, the story of my penis when I see Geiger's mom, Black Mirror Season 6, and Jury Duty. Duty. And the winner is Ted Lasso Season 3.
All right, I think we've seen a history on this, the Broscars, of when a series ends and their final season sticks the landing, they do tend to win this award. That's what we had with Ted Lasso. I think I voted for The Last of Us, but even though it was a shortened season, Cycling and I actually had quite a bit of interest in some of the Black Mirror stuff this year, and he turned me on to Shrinking. So this is a pretty strong category this year. And Nate, I know you're a Jury Duty head. Nate, we'll go to you first. How do you feel about the way this one played out?
I haven't seen Ted Lasso, but I'm not surprised with the hype that's been around it for the past 4 years or so since it's been out. I could have seen Shrinking kind of play a dark horse here because I know that is a huge hit this past year. I love Last of Us, but if I was gonna call one out to win this year, it would be Jury Duty. And I think it's just because it was such a unique take that had never been really done before in that setting, and it played out so great. That was one that I binged very quickly. So Jury Duty was my vote this year.
Yeah, kind of cool too. Jury Duty was sort of like a mock reality TV show, which don't normally get nominated here, so I was glad it did. Banner, what do you think?
Yeah, I think first off, this was probably the strongest category of the Broscars this year, top to bottom. I wouldn't have been surprised really if any of these won. Jury Duty is kind of such a unique idea, and like they just totally fucked that guy for 6 weeks or some shit. Granted, made it okay in the end. I think they're just so vastly different shows too. I mean, you have Last of Us, serious action drama, makes you cry kind of thing, and then you have Ted Lasso and Jury Duty where you're just crying laughing. I think I personally probably would have gone with Last of Us, but Ted Lasso season 3, like you said, Jeff, they stuck the landing.
All right, we got 2 awards left tonight. Matt, how are we holding up? Are we going to be able to finish things up down there?
I'm glad someone caused awareness to this because, I have a ton of influencers back here, guys, that we can get shit fucking done to the public because we know that the public doesn't know what to do until celebrities tell them. Now, like the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, watching Carlton do the dorky dance that we've seen since fucking 92 on The Fresh Prince, or Edward Norton literally ruining everyone's love of film on set, there's certain things in movies that need to be seen. And I actually went the wrong way and walked through Madam Web. And other than Dakota Johnson trying about as hard as an NBA player during the All-Star break, Sydney Sweeney's cleavage needs to be out. I paid $10 to see this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have The Rock and Oprah with an ocean background behind him, asking people to donate money so we can see Sydney Sweeney's cleavage on film, because that has worked well in the past. Because, Jeff, if we're not going to fucking donate, who will? These people with more money than us? No, sir. So get out your fucking Venmos. There'll be a thing down the screen and just pump that money in. Your kid doesn't even need to go in Little League anyway. They suck. Let's just pump that money in so we can see Sydney Sweeney's tits on screen. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Matt.
You continue to impress me back there, doing God's work. Our penultimate award actually
I knew he was
has
going to struggle
my
with that
name
one.
in the title. I did, but I made it through.
Yep.
It's the worst movie of the year, also known as So Bad Even Brian Hated It.
Yeah, Brian, you are known for watching some trash movies. And just to point out to the fans and audience how much Brian does not even like good movies. It's probably going on 10 or 12 years now. Banner has my
way more than that.
Shawshank Redemption DVD and my Inglourious Bastards DVD. Like I said, for 10, 12 years. He has not watched either one of them. So he's really a lost cause at this point.
Well, when's he going to have time? Because The Meg is a twice-a-year watch for him, and so's Deep Blue Sea.
Well, and now there's the Meg 2. So now it's a double feature.
Tough call.
I think what was most important here is the fact that I have not lost the DVDs yet. So let's just hang our hat on that.
Let's also send it down to our next presenter, Kermit the Frog.
That's you, Brian. You are fucking Kermit
I know.
the Frog.
I know. I'm just getting distracted by Kermit looking like Jabba the Hutt.
Getting in character.
He's got to make sure he doesn't do Yoda again.
Oh, it's going to happen. While we all know film is subjective, some things in movies are universally hated, like Meryl Streep, the Wilhelm scream, and the following list of movies that came out this past year. These are the nominees for the worst movie of the year, or the movie so bad that Brian hated it award. Take it away, you robot.
And the nominees are Reptile. If this was based on the Mortal Kombat character, I actually would have watched this. Meg 2, The Trench. Shotgun Wedding. I actually had to be held at Shotgun just to watch this. One True Loves. And Good Burger 2. Holy shit, they made another one of those? And the winner is Reptile.
All right, for those of you who don't know, this was I believe, Netflix original. Nate, did you see this? I think we talked about it.
No, because you've adamantly told me not to watch it, even though I want to.
You begged me not to watch it.
I know. It's Del Toro. It's Justin Timberlake. It looks good as hell. It's a murder mystery. You get into it, and it's just a steaming pile of shit. And I have to say, the movie sucked to beat Good Burger 2 this year. This was a pretty top-heavy category. We, of course, have a Jennifer Lopez sighting in Shotgun Wedding. Spoiler alert, she might be on this list already for next year. This is just one of my favorite categories, and I think Reptile wins because it should have been good, and it was fucking awful. What do you guys think of how this played out?
Yeah, I think that's the only one that didn't think it was going to be bad. I think all the other ones knew at least that these weren't going to be these awesome, amazing, mind-bending movies, and Reptile thought it was going to be, which I think is really the big defining difference in all the losers and the winner.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Banner was saying. Like, Reptile was trying to be something good, and it fell flat on its face. So it deserves this more than any other.
Now, I know people will get confused because Good Burger has good in the name, but don't let that fool you.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Didn't Good Burger 2 actually get decent reviews?
I don't know. I
heard
couldn't
was
make it
actually
through the
better
fucking
than people
trailer.
thought.
Maybe that just shows how low the bar was. I couldn't make it through the trailer for it.
That's rough.
Just me. All right, one award left. Matt, how are things going down there? Are people getting amped for the after party?
We're all drunk and fucking on cocaine, Jeff, back here. And also on like weed stuff, the gummies, because that's cool and healthy. We're drinking non-alcoholic beer, but fucking shooting heroin, because that's how we fucking do it back here. It's really weird seeing some of these celebrities that we've talked so much fucking shit on, especially me. Caesar from Planet of the Apes, I called that the tired ass fucking franchise. He's back here giving me the eye. The girl on his arm makes Jeff Bezos' new wife look like a fucking church girl, by the way. Sydney Sweeney just walked by. Her tits are out, but apparently she didn't like my former thing. You can't win with women. Am I right? The last booth here is an interesting one. I'm going to put in $10 because I think I can do this. Is in the time it takes you to watch Oppenheimer, you can figure out the problem with Israel and Palestine, which I think I can because the fucking movie never ends, just like war in the Middle East. So I'm going to take a crack at it, and we're going to finally have peace in the Middle East while I watch Oppenheimer. Back to you.
Thanks, Matt. Again, God's work. Can't say it enough. You've done some of your best backstage work this year. Top of the hat. I know I'm going to try to not get too emotional here because this is the last award of the night, the Best Picture Award.
Well, here we are as things wrap up. I know we are kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see Sydney Sweeney's tits and out this year in anything. So, but we did get Florence Pugh and J-Law, so that's kind of like a silver lining. So that was nice.
Yeah, but there's always the internet too, you know?
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It's a thing. All right, let's go down to take us home
To Ian McKellen to give us our final piece of hardware for the Best Picture Award.
Charles Barkley once said at a press conference for the 1992 Olympics, and I quote, "I don't know where Angola is, but they're in trouble." Well, I can assure you that anyone from Angola who has not seen these phenomenal movies up for the Best Picture Award is in fact in trouble. If you have seen them, please calm yourself. You're in no imminent danger. For the last time tonight, let us turn it over to our resident robot to announce the nominees for the Bros Best Picture Award.
And the nominees are Missing, the story of Horn's internet search history when the FBI came to his house. Leave the World Behind. Air, a movie about Michael Jordan, not featured Michael Jordan. Uppin, is it over yet? Heimer. And The Holdovers. The winner is Oppenheimer.
Well, guys, this is a rare part of the Venn diagram where maybe this year the Broscars and the Oscars might have the same winner. Fans voted. I liked Oppenheimer a lot. This is a strong category. I think I voted for Missing, but that felt like just a very Horns pick. I don't know how well it did in the actual competition. Nate, we'll go to you first. How do you feel about how this played out? I know Geiger was a big fan of Air, and I was as well, but I'm not sure which one of these you would have gone with for Best Picture.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised Oppenheimer won. It was a great film. I don't think I liked it as much as the general audience did. It was fine. I may go back and watch it and like it a second time through. But my vote in this category would be kind of a weird one, The Holdovers, though. I thought that one was really great, really well done. Love Giamatti in that one. And then, a close second behind that one. Probably Oppenheimer would be second for me, I'd have to say.
Yeah, strong category. Banner, what do you think?
I voted for The Holdovers as well. Again, a weird to be voting for a Christmas or a holiday movie for Best Picture, but it just was a really great story. Oppenheimer won. The subject matter just isn't my thing. Historical things like that, and the fact that it was like 6 days long. That was the main difference in me going for Holdovers over Oppenheimer. Although Oppenheimer and Air and Leave the World Behind and Missing, they were all great films this year. Really strong category again.
Before we turn over to Geiger, Cycly, did you see Missing? I know you and I are the big Screen Life heads on the pod. I don't know if I was able to convince you to watch this, though.
You have convinced me to watch it, except I haven't watched it. So, but I am excited about seeing it.
And I know
that makes sense.
Sort of, but not really. All right, before we close up for the night, Matt's up there wrapping things up. Matt, what are the festivities looking like as people are starting to make their way out and head to their respective after parties?
Yeah, I'm at an after party right now. I might be at the wrong one. Listen, I can't do this joke. I'm just gonna tell you the 3 people I'm by, and then you could make it up because I don't want to get kicked off. I'm sitting by Trevor Bauer's ex-girlfriend, a guy in a wetsuit waking up people from naps, and Vince McMahon after he just ate a big Taco Bell burrito, and the bathroom is under construction. Back to you guys.
It's better if it's a make-your-own joke. Like a
Chipotle style.
Google all that. If you don't know any of it, Google all of it.
Type it into AI and see what you get. Like Chat GPT.
It'd probably break AI.
Hey, I would be like, that's fucked up, dude.
Well, thanks, Matt. Again, great work back there. Well, we all have to get to the after party, the real one, the one that's hosted by Kenny the Jet Smith. Bros, any last thoughts on this year's Broscars? Cycly, start with you.
Of all the years we've done the Broscars, this was definitely one of them.
Horns.
Wow. I mean, I was going to say what Cycly said. I just appreciate Matt doing God's work backstage. It's great with this award show. Matt can't get kicked out because it's our awards. And I was shocked because he has kind of made a comeback and has been here before, but Kevin Spacey didn't make a appearance this year. Maybe next year. We'll see.
Thurman.
Hello. Just want was the delivery that good?
It was just like, act like we haven't talked to you in 3 months.
It was definitely with authority.
Honestly,
So
just finish
joyful.
it at hello. We don't need it anymore. Hello.
I was going to remind everyone quickly, the QR code at the bottom saves Sydney Sweeney's tits. So go ahead and donate, Venmo, Cash App. I think all avenues are open. So God bless.
Yeah, the Rock and
Hashtag
Oprah want you to
SST.
donate.
SSTs. Yes.
Wait,
Got you.
SSST.
Yeah, missed one. Oh well.
Geiger, you have any last thoughts before we close this thing out?
Have you ever seen someone look so concerned at like a 85-degree sunny day with the beautiful ocean behind them as the Rock and Oprah did? Like, someone needs to fucking help because we ain't going to.
Yeah, when they're giving that message, it's like, you guys seem like things are going pretty fucking good. I don't know. The situation
Yeah,
is.
usually you need to be like, I don't know, behind a brick wall of a city that, used to be nice, but didn't go to fucking Baltimore or something. I don't know. But looking through these movies, I would have to say, since we started this pod, it's a sad state. I don't know what's got my dick hard. When you mentioned Air, I'm like, oh, I went to that movie theater and actually felt pretty good leaving. But man, superhero movies are at a fucking do not buy stock in them right now. Like it's really sad. I think the only movie we haven't coming out this year is like Venom. Like I guess Deadpool 3 has some hope maybe, but it's a sad state for a lot of, like Jeff said, blockbuster movies. But all the blockbuster movies are tired ass fucking.
I know.
It's like all of them, nothing's new.
And I don't know the solution at this point, but we'll continue to.
We have the solution, but no one will listen to us.
Yeah.
And that's
Joke.
Sydney Sweeney's tits. Just in everything. Just fucking 2.5. Oppenheimer time with just her cleavage, and I guarantee you, like, everyone would like.
Try it, and if it doesn't work, then we'll go back to the drawing board. But just try it. All right, I will close this out for the Mad Scientist Brian Banner, legal counsel Ronnie Cycli, the American hero Nate Thurmond, and our enforcer of the Fate Matt Geiger. I'm the mayor Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys for joining us for part 7 of the first annual Broscars. We're the Broforce Squad podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Threads, I don't know, everything else at Broforce Squad. Type in Broforce Squad. That's 3 separate words on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you find podcasts, you'll find us. And our website, broforcesquad.com. Till next time, we'll see you at Kenny the Jet Smith's.
If you have another 2 hours, guys, I got this 10-page document from the Girl Superhero. I'd really like, the pay discrepancy is bullshit. Women should be making more than men in the U.S. If you got time. Do you all have time?
Yeah, let me see what the wife's up. Maybe, I don't know.
I gotta pee real quick and then
Carry it over. We'll carry it over. The listeners want it.